welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss the relationship between Capricorn and Pisces. So these two make a very excellent mix. This is a highly compatible set of zodiac signs. For the first part of it, with the intimacy, they're about 89 to 90% chance going to work. Reason being is they're a very complementary opposition to each other, meaning the Pisces fish is really able to bring out the best in the Capricorn when it comes to their idea of love and sort of getting into that fantasy sort of Disney Channel relationship in which they're actually able to really draw out the Capricorn and make them really feel things. Because a lot of people seem to think Capricorn's a cold sign through and they don't have feelings, blah, blah, they're all business, they represent the 10th house. Those things are true to a certain extent, but they still require love just like every other human being. So Pisces is able to really understand their ambition, what they want to do, their utilitarian view on the world, and they actually can see past that to their human side, which makes that very, very important, because now you get somebody who's not intimidated by you, and now you're getting somebody who actually understands you. Even if they don't share your interests, they love you for you, which with a lot of Capricorns, because they're influenced by Saturn, they don't have great family lives. Their friendships in the past may not have been the best. There might have been fueled with a lot of betrayal, and they sort of feel like they have a restricted life in that sense. Another reason for that is because Jupiter is in detriment there. Jupiter is, of course, a representative for Pisces, and it really helps the Capricorn person expand their mind in regards to their creativity and imagination when they have a person with Piscean nature around them, especially when it's their sun sign. So this is definitely very complementary. On the other hand, the Capricorn person is definitely able to understand the Pisces person to a certain extent as well, and they're able to really rationalize some of the Pisces person's sort of emotional volatility, and they can bring them down to earth to the point where they can actually help them, I guess, monetize their skills and make them see in a more realistic fashion how they can go about getting the things done with their natural gifts that they probably do not know how to direct and use. So this really gets to the point of somebody who's used to a lot of restriction in life, which is the Capricorn, getting with somebody who's used to expansion and growth. So their relationship is always going to be propelling in sort of like an upward spiral once they get past the groove of we're boyfriend, girlfriend, or same sex, whatever it may be. They're able to really get into that groove and then stick with it. Another point I want to bring up is the trust between these two is sort of magical. It's like they're almost in competition to kind of see who can trust the other person more, which is very rare for a relationship, especially in this day and age with the modernization of the internet and so forth. A lot of people don't really stick together that long. These two will stick together for a lifetime. They really, truly respect the other person's character. The only place in which I see them having any sort of issue would be in regards to their belief system and their values. They both are very strong and fixated on what they believe in, and they will not switch that for another person. So if you're able to compromise, understand that even if your Pisces person believes in spirituality and you as a Capricorn believe in Christianity, or you're Muslim, or you're Orthodox Christian, whatever it may be, you need to just learn to respect the other person for who they are and what they represent, as long as it's not going to hinder you and they're not disrespecting your cultural narrative. If both parties are on that same tangent where they don't really disrespect each other, but they understand that they do have a different belief system, have an open discussion about it. Maybe you can learn something new from the other party. But if it's not one of those where it's like you're fixated on what you believe in, just leave it at that. I don't really see it as a reason to end the relationship. You guys are such a complementary mix that you guys do make that sort of match made in heaven. And it's really not worth throwing away over just a separation of belief systems. Because when it comes to sexual intimacy, you guys are able to understand each other in a way in which a lot of people cannot. And it really comes down to having a real spiritual match here. So if you have little issues, little arguments, that's very necessary in any relationship to get growth. You need to have sort of confrontations and so forth. So make sure that all of those things are present, but don't throw the relationship away for something that's sort of minuscule in comparison to the big picture. The next portion I want to bring up is the business for these guys, which is the same thing. About 90% of the time, this can definitely work. The Pisces person has a special way of getting the Capricorn to lighten up during business, and the Capricorn's definitely able to monetize the Pisces person's ideas, the way in which that they think. They can really bridge that to the world that we're in today and help them really transfer their knowledge to some sort of tangible sort of income for them. So it definitely works in that regard. If they're both employed at the same company, The Pisces person just be the kind of person that's just making a lot of jokes and really lightening up the Capricorn person's mood from that ulterior, like this sort of seriousness they always maintain. And business-wise, these guys can do anything from like film production to medical care, to, I would say, sort of like spiritual healing or occult sciences. Those type of things that are sort of out of the box will definitely suit these guys as well, especially if it's the Pisces person that's sort of innovating and bring forth the idea, and the Capricorn person is sort of like more so responsible for the management of the said company or making sure that they're the organizer or accountant for that company. When that sort of mix comes into interplay, it'll definitely work out very well, and both parties will be very much in profit. Last but not least, we have the friendships. This video is going to be a little bit shorter just because these guys are very compatible. Like I said, usually the most longer videos I have are the ones where they're not compatible, because I have to give more suggestions, tell you guys where to compromise, because any energy can blend together, but some energies can blend together a lot easier with less friction. With these guys, there's a lot of traction. There's a lot of like natural, this just works, this just clicks. And that's the scary part about certain zodiac signs. It's weird the way in which they can just click like that. Friendship wise, again, 95% of the time, it can work. Reason being, the Pisces person is the type of person that would go to the Capricorn in a classroom or at the workplace, say, you don't talk to a lot of people, blah, blah, I see this about you, I like you. And they'll end up becoming